Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities Skylines, the 1 hour a day build in our town of Lifstrom. I am your host and insane mayor Zerberus, and yeah, let me grab my whiskey coke, take a sip. Cheers. And yeah, what is why does that appear to be even more catastrophic? Is that because of the land being down to 0? No, that shouldn't be the problem back here. This back here, I think. Oh my god. Oh boy. Now I'm scared. Maybe all of this was a horrible idea. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think I'll take another sip. Because the whole idea was to stop that problem from up here, which is apparently a result of the water source being either so close to the edge and or so close to the dam. But I mean, it's as close to the back edge as it can possibly get, and again we get that spiking up here, and so that always caused the flood waves back in here. Why is everything running so slow? Have I got like a browser window open or something? Or is that just a result of that water spiking? It may be, actually. That's just a result of this insanity. Because the game normally runs so much faster. Ah, yeah. Now it's up to its speed. So apparently that's just a result of that chaos. Okay. So I may want to at least let that settle to the point where the game can run again each time before I start each episode in the future. Note to self. Okay, so most of that appears to at least be going off sideways. Interesting is just going to be what happens starting like here. If we get any flooding from back down there, because it was so nice seeing all of this finally grow back in. I don't really want to go around raising our city. Is it maybe a result of that might actually be a result of those drain holes we put in? And the fact that this also just goes down to 0, maybe we just need to level the terrain up to back up to these proper levels, so to speak. Now that I think about it. But the good news is it doesn't appear to be causing much of a problem yet. So chaos or not, we're getting here's a single flood wave. What happens to this? Here it's probably going to spread out just a wee bit. And here it can also spread out a little bit again, so it might actually... So there's still an initial flood wave. But that's much, much more tolerable, I think. I don't think that's going to cause us any real long-term grief. Especially by the time it finally gets down to the city. Question is it going to cause us any significant amount of flooding anywhere. And are we getting a secondary wave from all that water that was popping up? We do not appear to be. So that, whatever, the total chaos in the back appears to have been contained. So it's all really just a question of the initial flood wave, which is probably like here-ish. Wait a sec, we should be able to use this to kind of semi-tell where it is. We're gonna have to do it visually. It appears to be about just over the bridge, just here. Yeah, it's just crossing under the bridge supports right about now. But I really don't think that's going to be much of a problem. Okay. So, chaos or not, this part of the city is not going to be a problem. So, now we can finally start looking at what kind of demands we have. We have 24 dead people, 5 businesses with no place for goods, 44 businesses with no workers. We have commercial demand, a little bit of residential, and some industry. So I think we're gonna expand residential in here eventually first. Eventually first, yeah, exactly. No word. Eventually, and I think we're gonna start drawing like our first, like we're starting to get higher commercial area back in here, or will we still stay with height limited? Well, height limited or not, I'm thinking, and if you guys think this is a bad idea, then please let me know. I mean, don't let me do everything. Please be interactive. And I know I don't want to edit my profile. Twitch, sometimes I really hate your cell phone client. That said, I hate my cell phone anyway. I may just simply need to get... Yeah, thank you, that's what I wanted. Dumbass. My idea... Wait. Let's turn off the day-night cycle and leave our time of day at like somewhere here-ish. I'm thinking we're gonna want this to be mixed commercial and off, and maybe some of the first higher offices. Although I think we actually have some high offices even out here in the... No, that's right. We currently have a citywide high-rise ban. That's right. That's right. So no matter what we put in here, right now... Well, you know what? Exactly. That's what we need to do first. We'll pause the game and just make sure all of our initial districts have high-rise bans. Each and every one. Just the district itself, not, exactly. So, high-rise ban. Excellent. City planning also has a high-rise ban. Wood Heights policies. Oh. So I actually get that automatically. I think it all automatically goes to it, just make sure. So they all have their high-rise bands, it appears. Make sure. Don't need a high-rise ban out here, because this is all specialized industry anyway. Although for the offices... Yeah, we will actually instigate a high-rise ban for that district. So, but now we'll go for the city policies, and there we'll take the high-rise ban out. Now what we need to do, though, is just make sure that didn't... Oh. I'm missing a district in there, apparently. Can I get like a better district? Yeah, thank you. Am I building a... Is this a park or a district? Paint district, yeah. Okay, just making sure. Just finish districting everything up a little bit. And now these docks will also be their own district up to, say, here-ish. I think this might actually be commercial, I can't remember. That's why I'm just going to set it up as a second district just in case. So everything else, no, they're still missing one. Part of the reason I'm also doing this is that we may or may not eventually want to drop heavy traffic bans in one or more of these districts. Just as an additional way of controlling the traffic. And that, well, since that's its own little commercial corner, basically, we'll make it its own little district. Why not? Now, everything else is districted up except for the turbines. They obviously don't need one. They also have their own district. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, it was out here. So now, once again, the view. There is a district. I think there's even a district. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. We don't want to draw. We want. Yeah, exactly. Now we want to get to policies. So there's our districts view. Much better, much better, much better. So. High-rise ban, high-rise ban, high-rise ban, high-rise ban, high-rise ban, high-rise ban, high-rise ban. And eventually we'll come back in and then turn all of these into historic districts. And that will allow them to level up. In fact, we could... As soon as we get started, get the new area started and up and running, we might actually want to do that relatively soon. So, got them in everywhere on this side of the highway, right? Yeah, so now it's think now we've hit everything. Yeah. So now we've banned high rises everywhere. Ban them over here just for shits and giggles. And back in the oil industry. Hey, you know what? Screw it. Oh no, wait a sec. Because they actually do have some. Yeah, well, you know what? We will. Because they do have those. Well, no. No, that's right. Because they actually have those high offices out here. I think these are level 3, right? Oh no, they're not. If none of those are level 3 yet anyway. Well, then in that case, we will do exactly that. No, 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 wrong button.
Italian leather, Italian threading. Pernu is Italian for jean jacket.
Seriously, why can I not?
The second best of Milan, and with an appropriate markup, bring it to you. Just
There, problem solved.
doesn't mean you shouldn't have pants.
And again, I think that bit of extra water is really not going to cause us much of an issue.
What does it feel like to drive a plow?
See if there's anything we
What does it feel like to
need to know about. No, I don't think so. It doesn't look like anything's drying up or anything, so.
smell a mountain?
So again, the idea is we'll drop in a commercial zone over here.
And now we've
The question is just how to connect it reasonably.
The Jubilee dementia. The car engineer said shouldn't be made. Test drive one today.
Well, first of all, we have to build it.
Scientists for decades claimed was beyond the realm of safe driving. Jubilee. Be reasonable or be fast.
Wait, curved road tool.
This is your boy, Deep Funk, thanking you personally for joining us at the Deep Focus Job.
And I'm thinking we're going to want to use these roads and just come out here. Just put like fingers all the way up to the waterfront. Yeah, I think this is going to work out nicely. That one got raised up just a hair, but that's okay. So, and we'll do the same thing out in this direction. In fact, this might be one of our roads across to the other side. Although I don't think that's going to be high enough to get a bridge under. We'll take a look into that later. First we need a reason to get to the other side. That might actually be a services corner. So, the inside, we'll actually just go with a 6-lane road going through it. We may have, well, it's not too bad actually. Now we need a 4-lane coming off here, exactly. Well, we don't need a 4-lane coming off here. If this were a residential area, I'd actually be considering using like the cul-de-sac roads now, just for a bit of flavor, but I think just the general design of this is actually going to be enough flavor for now. That should work, I'm going to say. Let's get this right out of the way straight off the bat. Still have no idea what was going on with our water pipes last episode. That was wacky. Drove me completely nuts. if some of you may remember, that was just all sorts of weird. So, the question is, do we want to still keep this height, or do we want to allow them to go full height now? I don't think this really quite counts as this. Well, I don't know. Is this a city center really already? I think. Well, first off, we have to hook it up anyway, so let's kind of get that done first, and then we'll think about whether this is or is not part of the city center. I don't like that. Let's do that the other way around. Oh, highways is what we wanted. And Shift S, merging tool is done. So now they get off here, they can get back on here. And for off, exactly, I know what we'll do for off for the other direction. No, we won't. We'll actually connect these two sides eventually with a road, because I mean, if somebody wants to come in from there, they can really, well, actually they have to go quite a ways to turn around, don't they? We'll give them a reversing lane in here ish. There's a spot there where it was blue. Come on, give me that spot. There and there, it works even without anarchy. Wonderful. Obviously we want to set up our turning lanes here. I don't think we've done that on any of these yet, have we? No, we haven't. Probably haven't done that on any of the roundabouts. Oh, we did apparently do it on this one. Well, why do I keep calling these roundabouts or turbines? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Still absolutely not a fan of this, but yeah, we'll leave it in for now. Okay, so now that we've figured out what exactly this is going to be, we're not getting the not enough goods. We are still getting the not enough workers complaints, though. Still, be all of that isn't much. This will now be our final high-rise band commercial area. And it will just be all high density except for the waterfront. What we also need to do, though, before we actually do that, the classics, walking paths, services. But we'll just do that after we do our zoning. See, that wasn't supposed to happen. So now we know that it did, and we can change that. Anything else that got high, even though it was supposed to go low? Nope. We so low that worked. Walking paths, exactly. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? There we are. Shouldn't actually need that many. This is actually a pretty small little commercial zone. Oh, wait a sec. That's an idea. There. Give me those small roads. Zonable paved tiny road. We'll do a promenade because cyclists can also use that. Space already occupied by the idea was actually to have some zoning on the outside of that still. And I think with the exception of right here, we did actually manage to get that, so we're fine. So once again, we take our marquee tool and zone whatever we can get. Obviously not this. I said not this. And now we let it run. See what comes in where, when, why, and how. And of course we need to add like some basic services over here. The normal fire station gonna cut it. Yeah, normal fire and police will cut it just fine out here, I think. The boardwalk is actually the biggest problem as far as coverage goes. So we may actually just put these... then it can't get over there, so... Put one right there. You know what? No, no, no. We'll put that on the low density side. And same for police.
Lock eyes with a lemur. Shake hands with a turtle. At the city zoo, you can experience the wild in our wildest exhibition yet. Come down this weekend to meet our newest
Yeah, that works.
a three-toed sloth named Barbara. She'll hook you with her smile.
And of course they also do need a waste transfer facility. We'll drop that. Well, they don't necessarily need one, but we'll give them one. Is that a... No, that's a recycling center. That's totally the wrong building. Will this even fit in here anywhere? Ah, there it will, yeah.
The city zoo.
Yeah, we'll put that right out there. So, and they're also going to want postal services. I think we'll drop that in right here, just together with the fire and the police on this corner. And that should give that commercial zone basically everything it needs to grow. Getting on that really isn't too hard. Basically still also just that. So no, we'll leave that the way it is. So current demands. Probably, yeah, residential for the most part. That was to be expected, but we already set up Kent Park. Yeah, it's even got water already. What it needs now is a concept. You know what? There's something wrong with the concept over here too. Although there's not really much we're gonna get there, so no, we'll be fine. Do need to rezone that though. We are getting some light flooding down here. So that initial wave didn't completely die down. But it's really just only this little section here. And it's gonna go inland a little bit, but yeah, that's so little. I don't think that's actually going to be any sort of problem for anybody. I'm almost even surprised we got that much. Yeah, some drops over there. But no, that's working fine. Okay, so let's get working on Kent Park. This may actually be 2 districts now that I look at it. Just like one up to here. Yeah, I think that's the way we're going to do that. And then we're going to take a big ass 6-lane and come... We'll put a roundabout in the middle, and that roundabout will split the 2 districts. That's the way we're going to do this one. And then we'll put a commercial nook on the center of that roundabout, exactly. And that'll actually be its own little district in here. Since we more or less already know how that road is going to go. Yeah. They obviously then also need a high-rise ban. And of course, since all of this is residential, we obviously want local and organic as far as our commercial zones go. But in here, we might actually be able to go with general purpose commercial, although we might actually even just throw like an office block in there, or I don't know what we'll throw in there. We'll find that out when we throw it in there. Do we want to leave those 4-lane outside roads? Yeah, we're using those out here too, so we may as well. And that means then that we want 4-lane 2-way roads in here. And the roundabout itself needs to be 4-lane one-way, basically. It still looks reasonable. Didn't go all jank on us. I'll actually connect up both there to both of those. And it just gives us 4 little corners to build something in. May not even need roads that big. Now that I think about it. Might be able to get away with these here already. Let's get this a little bit less janky. That works. And we do want to leave some space for like some parkage and stuff like that, or maybe some form of monument. So, and draw in this one. This one. This one. That one's actually going to go without killing any zoning. That's always nice. So that's the beginning of a new residential area. Not entirely sure what, if anything, we're going to... Well, yeah, we do have some commercial setup in there. We're probably going to put in like a road and a... Oh, wait a sec. This might be a nice place to put like the... Wait a second. I'm sure we already have the observation tower. I'm not even worried about that. Question is just, where is it? Office zone, yeah, we still have to build some office zone. Not worried. Will happen. What the... Why is it only showing me the Park Life DLC buildings now? What's this crap? What the... Not quite sure what the game was thinking there, but it wasn't working. Huh? There, that's what we're looking for. Oh, that'll fit in there beautifully. Height-wise. No, 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 not bulldoze. We want that, and we want a free look camera to see if that'll fit in there the way we want it to. I think this might be a nice place to put it. That said, I don't really want to have that in the... We don't really want to have that in the middle of a residential zone either, so we may... We may just like turn this into like our first level 3 office block. That might not be a bad idea, actually. So now, of course, we need to set up this roundabout. That's priority. You can switch, but you can't go through. You can switch, but you can't go through. You can switch, but only they can go through. Only they can go through. You can switch. And now we need our turning arrows. Now that roundabout should actually be set up. And I think, yeah, I will actually take out the high-rise ban here. And this will be zoned as offices. Just standard offices, but the first ones that can go full height. Turn that into like their landmark, so to speak. This is obviously not the most effective way to do it. Especially if we do it wrong, like we just did there. That really always helps. So, but, yeah, so now this is a little office block that's probably never going to fill in. So now we do want a little bit more in the way of some standard parkage out here. Maybe like out here and over here. Put like a large playground in over here somewhere, maybe. Put a small one in over here, exactly. Because I get a feeling that's going to be right next to a middle school anyway. So now, of course, they need basic services. Oh, you know what? That's a much better idea. We'll actually... We will... put our hospital here in the center. Because that will guarantee ideal coverage just about everywhere. That was not a bad idea. Waste transfer. We may have to run a road from over here, although they seem to be getting reasonably good coverage still. Nothing else. We can also put in like a services corner somewhere. But okay, so now we're down to the basics. We've got garbage. They already have water. They already have electricity. I assume they have electricity and water. Water, that's electricity. That's fine. Water, that's fine. Good. Okay, garbage. We've just sussed out they have in some way, shape, or form. Healthcare, we just gave them. Elder and child care. We'll put in here. And we will probably need a crematorium, so we'll just toss that, as cruel as it sounds, right across the road from the hospital for the... I mean, not everybody gets better. I mean, sorry. It's just practical. Right at the source, you know? Really doesn't mean we're trying to kill you. Believe me, believe me. It might, actually. A large firehouse in here on the roundabout will cover everything. So we'll do the same thing with police. Also just have them situated right on the roundabout. So this is basically services. That means what we'll do, we won't put offices in there, we'll actually put some commercial in there. Well, it's too late, they've got offices now. Anything else we need? Yeah, education, of course. Education. And we'll just put one of these in on each side, on the central tongue, so to speak. And the high school, yeah, as usual, will go like right here-ish. And so now all of this can become high-density residential. Welcome to your new home in, what is this, Myrtle Hills? We'll actually stop the game for a second while we zone this. So we don't wind up zoning the other side by mistake, or even worse, all of that commercial. Because we're basically always going to have some amount of commercial on the outside of our residential areas just as a noise buffer. But I think that is going to look just smashing when it comes in. It's also going to be the same height here though, except for this, because this could theoretically get a little bit higher now that these are our first non-high-rise band buildings. And we can see we've already got the first ones going up to reasonable levels. May even have the first ones going up to unreasonable levels already. Whoa. Yeah, they're already getting ready to upgrade. Wow. Oh, and they also are going to want a post office, so we'll put that in here as well. I think we can probably get that right on that corner. No, we can get it right there, and that'll do just as well. One post office for everybody. One post office to rule them all. Now, of course, we're getting 0 demands. That's excellent. The question is, will these... We don't have enough workers' complaints. Eventually go down. Trash is okay. 30 dead people with what, 125,000 people? Somebody's going to be dead somewhere, so... Yeah. Let's grab a sip of whiskey cola. Oh, sorry about that. And just watch this come in for a second. Commercial isn't actually coming in at all, but the offices are. And of course our residential buildings are also starting to pop in as well. Yeah, so this is our new district, Daffodil Park and Myrtle Hills. And what's the story over here on Prospect Lake? I think it's Prospect Lake. No, Prospect Hills, I'm sorry. I was kind of wondering where the lake was supposed to be. The low density isn't coming in quite yet, but the high density is. So overall, it's working, it's working, it's working. And I do remember we already had 130k once, so obviously we're probably going to try and hit that again, especially considering our goal is still 500. I'm just glad that massive time slowdown was really just the map starting and not some sort of other huge problem. You know what? This is actually... Oh, that's right. They don't have a high-rise band, do they? No, they don't. Stop. Let's make sure I'm not going to wind up knocking out tons of level 5 buildings. No. So they have a high-rise band, and we'll set them to historical now. In fact, we'll set them to historical and take out the high-rise band. That'll be the first place to actually get that treatment. Because again, I don't think we have level 5s in here, do we? No. 3s. Can probably still do with something. Question is what? Education is not going to be awesome back in here. Obviously, we don't have space for like a high school. That's kind of to be expected. That somebody's going to have to do it a little bit worse. Oh, do we have... Oh, we don't even have a middle school back in here, do we? It's of course a fail. So we'll drop that in there. And give them a high school as well, whether we want to or not. That is what? I think that's their waste transfer, isn't it? Oh, that may actually even be too close to the residential now that I think about it. Let's take a quick look at that. Make sure it's not making anyone sick. That's actually surprisingly good. Okay. I expected that to be a bigger issue, though what's the story with noise? It's not ideal, but it really could be worse. Okay. So that means they still need a high school somewhere in here. Oh, that's why that didn't work, because I was looking at the university, yeah. So we'll just take this one. That should set that whole district. What's the story on high schooling overall? We do have enough capacity, so that's good. Now they're complaining about not enough workers. I get a feeling this is going to change that eventually. In fact, you know what we'll do? We'll add an awesome pedestrian bridge over there. Take a third from here, if we can. No, it's not going to let us do that, is it? No, not from that height. So we're going to have to take that from here. But then we can actually come over and just connect up right next to... Can we get in here without destroying too much zoning? Not really. So if we're gonna have to screw it up anyway, then we may as well make it come over like right next to that cafe or something. That looks what the... What is going on here? They are totally gummed up. For what reason? What are they waiting for? What is going on? Something is heavily, heavily jammed. What the... I'm not supposed to understand this, right? I hope I'm not. Let's see if it's traffic lights. I got a feeling it might be, at least partially. But it looks a lot more like it's just a stupid amount of people that are trying to come in here for some reason. That I totally... Oh, wait a sec. Do we still have despawning? I think we still have despawning off, right? So yeah, traffic is basically hard mode right now. And that's the problem. So... we got people going that way, we got people going that way. What we need to do, we need to turn this outside road into a one-way road. That's basically going to be our solution. You guys can't handle two-way roads, then we'll go with a one-way. Not that way. Obviously, this is 2 clicks every time, so don't think that it's normal that it'll go dang. That's actually because I'm quite quickly left and then right clicking. I should actually make it more manageable though. Now, of course, we've once again got traffic lights. That was to be expected. Yay, new traffic lights, because we didn't hate the old ones enough. This crossroad may actually be the issue. Shouldn't be, but let's see what happens when more of this gets running and when they finally figure out what's going on here. In fact, the issue may be them actually up here merging too early. Maybe we can stop, or not stop, but rather control some of them a little bit better by having them merge just one node later. Because all of this should slowly start moving now. May ban traffic on the outside lanes, depending on how well this gets in now. Once everything's unbungled. Because we've already got a massive tail that's been caused as a result of that. So we want to see that just go away. And I think we might. And now this is starting to come in, because now people can actually get here. Although I'm not entirely sure the two are related. I mean, we've had cities build themselves up to insanity before, but nobody was able to get in, so it didn't really help anybody. And it's just really, this is falling farther and farther back, faster and faster, although it's who put a 2-lane in there? Which dumbass put a 2-lane in there? I'm sure it was me. That's obviously a rhetorical question, but that's not the way that's supposed to work. Oh, they're jamming up in here as well? Why are they jamming up in here? That shouldn't be happening. Because everybody's trying to get on the highway, apparently. Okay, so we'll turn despawning back on. Whoa, that went real quick. A lot of cars that were apparently not able to get to where they needed to go. I think I see what the issue is here as well. Well, not really, actually. It shouldn't be. At least not to that extent, because it is a residential area. I mean, that said, it's also still relatively fresh, so we'll keep an eye on it. But this has basically deproblemified itself. Deproblemified. What a wonderful word creation. So now we have to wait for this to come in. Up to 126. We are getting upgrade pings everywhere. That's good. Oh, and lots of people already using these bridges again. At least those two. Some of them are actually even already using this, and there's not even that much in over here yet, so. And they walk over, and they immediately get onto a pedestrian and cycle boardwalk. We may wind up having to do some of our avant-garde pedestrian overpasses. Shouldn't really be veering in that hard. We did set up our connecting lanes here, right? Yeah, we did. Well, yes. You're always eventually going to have like one or two idiots that wind up gumming everything up. There's not really too much you can do about that. As soon as they're gone, everything flows again. But here, for example, we could also do our turning lanes. That certainly might help. Just go across the entire area and put them in. Yeah, we have them there for the train station. We were that smart. Don't have them there. Don't have them there. And there, now that should improve a little bit. For here, I think for the most part we should be fine, but we need to set up turning lanes as well, so that people don't all constantly just use this outside lane, knowing that they'll eventually have to get into it. This is not about eventualities, this is about where do you want to go right now. If you want to go straight, then get the hell out of that lane, please. Yeah, and now that's exactly what we're getting. People are using one lane further over, deciding to gum it up there. Yeah, okay, we need an overpass system here. This is just not going to work without one. And we'll actually just connect those then here. What is that? I think that's the post office, so that is something that we may actually not want to have a bridge going right into the middle of. That's a police station, also don't necessarily need a bridge going right into the middle of it. That's actually okay. That's one over there, one over there, one over there, and then just some crazy shit up in here. That's okay.
Andy's bowling alley. Every Friday night, anyone who buys at least 2 games of bowling gets a free bowl of chili.
The important thing being that the traffic can now flow.
Due to recent incidents, the chili will only be distributed at the end of your visit. That way you can enjoy it wherever you want. In a park, at home.
72 dead people.
In the meantime, you'll have all the fun that bowling can provide. So come on back and be reminded.
Let's see if that's
actually that good at bowling. Andy's bowling alley.
an actual problem.
Yeah, you do. What's the catch? There is one. Anyone who wants it can have it. You just have to ask for it. Our 3-day sleepaway camp is the perfect place.
Their problem over here is simply that they don't have any sort of...
Makers in the region. And you are a motivated, driven, confident individual.
Yeah, that's right. Dead people in some of these places is obviously an issue just because, yeah, there's nobody to take them away. So, just add a local coroner's office here.
So don't wait. The early bird catches the worm, and the worm is a bust at
That should
143 Industrial.
solve that for the most part for over here.
Destiny by the horns. Go on.
Add another one over here.
Taken. Money for nothing.
Actually get rid of that one dead person that way.
Host, deep thought, coming back at you with the thought of the day. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, pause for a second and take in your surroundings. You can't stop to savor every moment, but if you're not careful, the days will slip past before you even realize. Gather yourself in this moment and let the feeling be sweeter still, along with the sounds of deep focus chill.
So, any more areas where we need dead people dragger awares? They can definitely use with one. They can actually also use with one. See if that doesn't get those numbers down a little bit. It should, without any problem actually. And then now all of this should also have some sort of death care. I think over here in the oil industry we don't have any either. No, of course not. So just to make sure we don't get dead people lying around in huge amounts, we'll drop one in up there as well. So now that number should start going down. Yeah, we have more than enough capacity. I think the issue was just really the routing. And of course the fact that we also had despawning on still. Despawning still off. That means that not being able to get somewhere for whatever reason was not necessarily a reason not to keep trying. And that, of course, will gum your traffic up something fierce if you have actual problems. It's actually a great way to find traffic problems. That's something we might want to do like next episode. Just run through with that tool specifically, or with despawning turned off, and just see just how horrible it gets. Oh, but those coroners are doing well. We've got a lot of coroner vehicles running around actually right now. And look at all these hearses. Look at all these traffic lights. I think it was only that one, okay. Yeah, I don't think it was more than that. Oh, but they don't have turning lanes set up either. Well, we can definitely do that, like, at least up to the roundabout. They're actually set up down here, interestingly enough. On the other side of the roundabout, they're probably also set. That looks good, that looks good, that looks good, that doesn't look good. Actually, that can be 2 lanes. No, wrong one. Doesn't really need to be 2 lanes coming off to the left. Back here, it should mostly all be set up already. No, of course not. Why do all the work at once? Doesn't give you anything to do the next day. No, I'm kidding, of course. It's a horrible work ethic to have. Although when you're talking about something like this where you actually do need something to do the next day, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And next day, that's actually a good topic. We are a good 10 minutes over our time limit already. So this is coming in nicely. We did now give them their own coroner, right? Yeah, that should be a non-issue. We're getting a bit of a trash problem, but also doesn't seem to be anything major. Let's check the pan. It's coming in from, well, it's coming in from quite a distance away, so we may or may not. Oh, you know what? That's the problem. We can add a road from this waste transfer facility just straight off across the bay here, or the whatever you want to call it. But we will ban heavy traffic from that. So city service vehicles, yes. But we don't want trucks on this road. Everything else just fine. City service vehicles, trash of course, taxis, buses, cars, just no trucks. Not on this bridge. And why is that not set to the whole bridge? There. That's what it needed to be. And that should give them trash coverage then, relatively quickly. We'll see tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm going to sign off from Liftstrom for now. I'll see you all next episode. If you've liked what you've seen, please feel free to follow me on Twitch or like and subscribe on YouTube. And yeah, you guys have been great. I've been Zerb, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. Cheers!